it's time to make Play-Doh today. Play-Doh is a fun thing to play with and it is easy to make. So the first thing you need is 2 cups of water, and I'm going to add some food coloring to that and make it blue today. Ooh, looking nice. Check it out. It's starting to turn blue, and I'll swirl it a little bit, and maybe I could use my spoon and stir it. The other thing, do you think I should put maybe a little bit of green in there just to make it a more fun color? I think so. So I'll put 1 drop of green in. Ooh! Not sure if we just got 1 or 2. So I will stir that up. And my wooden spoon now looks kind of a fun color of green-blue. So I'm going to pour this in my electric fry pan. You could also use this on a fry pan on the stove, okay? And even though the directions say to have it on medium heat right away, it actually is easier to mix it all together, or at least start mixing it before you turn on the heat. Okay, so I have that in there. And the next thing is 3 tablespoons of vegetable oil. So I have some canola oil here. And this is a tablespoon measure. I'm going to pour out 3 tablespoons. 1, 2, 3. I am going to move the camera over here so you can kind of see in here. It is kind of cool. The oil stays separate from the water. I'm not sure how well you can see that, but the oil is at the end of the spoon, and there's a few drops of it in other places. There we go. Okay, we're going to keep going and see if we can get that ready to go. Okay, the next thing it says to add is 2 cups of flour. I have 1 cup here right away, and I am going to stir while I add it. And then I will need to add another cup. So I will get the other cup ready. And this makes a 2nd cup. And you want to keep stirring. If somebody can stir while another person adds this, it works really well. And the next thing you need is a cup of salt. This one is almost gone. So I have another one ready right here. Even though this has ingredients in it that are okay to eat, it is not usually meant to be, or it is not meant to be eaten. It would taste kind of funny with the salt and the flour like that. That'd be a lot of salt. And then you also need 3 tablespoons of, or 3 teaspoons of cream of tartar. Cream of tartar looks like this. You use it in sugar cookies, actually. I do. My grandma's recipe has cream of tartar in it. It helps smooth things out. So I'm going to sprinkle this kind of around, and I need 3. And 3. Then I'm going to turn mine on right now and keep stirring. And hopefully you'll be able to see that it is medium heat is probably around 250 or 300. And now I'm going to keep stirring. It will get thicker and thicker and thicker. And you want to try to keep stirring so that it doesn't get too lumpy. Although when you get done with the cooking part, then you can knead it with your rubber gloves, and then it you can help smooth it out then too. This is going to be kind of a pale blue with a hint of green in it. I maybe should have added a little more color because it isn't very bright, but you can color yours any color you want. And earlier today, remember we read Hedgie Blast Off, so you can use it to make a hedgehog. You can also use your Play-Doh to make letters and numbers and almost anything. Play-Doh is such a fun thing. Mine is looking a little bit lumpy, but I think it'll get better as we keep cooking and when I can knead it. You want to cook it long enough so that it's heated through and then also so it kind of forms a dough. So mine's getting thicker and thicker. And when you make yours, if you're making yours at the same time, yours should be getting thicker also. Okay, do you see how mine is getting thicker? It's getting very thick. So I think it is about done. So then when you have it cooked and it's thick, then you can turn off the heat. There we go. And then you want to pour it out onto your board here, and then use your rubber gloves to knead it a little bit. And after it cools off a little bit, then that's when the child can help with that. Your child could help by adding ingredients while you're in the process here. And here we go. And I'm going to put the gloves on and start kneading. These gloves are rather big, but they will work. And if your dough is sticky, you want to add a little more flour. And if it is too thick, then you can add a little bit of water. But you only want to add a little bit at a time. Mine seems to be pretty good. You want to keep mixing it. If you don't have rubber gloves like these, you can use the thinner ones, but it will be a little bit hot on your hands. You do need to knead it a little bit until it's smooth. And then when it's smooth, your child can actually help you with the getting it smooth part. When it is cool enough for them to touch, and they can either use rubber gloves or they can just use their hands after it cools off a little bit. And so, if you look, mine is about done. I might add a little bit more food coloring, although it may be kind of tricky because it doesn't mix in as well now. But it is kind of a blue-gray color and not very pretty. So I think I'm going to add a little bit more food coloring and see if I can mix it in a little bit. Maybe I should kind of make a few dents in it. It is kind of hot yet, though. Maybe a drop over there, drop in the middle, and a drop over here. We'll see how this works. And it may dye my gloves. My husband might not be too happy about that, but we'll see how this works. I'll try to keep it in the middle while it is still liquid. Oh, here comes some color. Now, if you see on this side, it's starting to get more blue. It is trickier to mix in it, so make sure you add enough food coloring to the water, because it will mix in better then. And now mine is getting a nicer blue. Okay, now mine is ready to use. You may have fun with yours, and make sure you make a hedgehog or another animal, and then you can use it for as many things as you want. If you store it in a zip top bag, then it will last for a long time. You don't want to leave it out in the air unless you want whatever you made to harden. Have fun.